Dr. Jekyll was a famous doctor and had a butler called Paul. One night the doctor was in his lab with tea and bottles with liquids of different colors in them. All book and started to write that if in fact it was a successful man and did not believe that the medicine would be sufficient. I thought that people had different characters. The dog a drink that had wanted to see what the medication with the character of the man who went out of the lab. In London there were two parts, one of rich and another poor. A family went in the street for passing carriages where Martha was being left behind, and a transportation fell a currency. It was to collect when suddenly ran a man of strength and pushed a crow. Was behind was cornered and sat back to pay the doctor for it, and who was called Edward Hyde. He had heard a paper to the pater where said Dr. Henry Jekyll and was thinking that the site it was called Edward Hyde.
One afternoon was Mr. Utterson and Enfield Richard walking toward an agay and Enfield question. What kind of people live in the place? Mr. Utterson said he did not know. He wants to tell a story about a strange man who was very ill. He here waiting to remedy this mistake to pay a large sum of money. But the name on the paper was a respect doctor.
And Mr. Utterson went to visit his friend Dr. Lanyon, who had been master of Dr. Jekyll. Mr. Utterson was confused by the strange man who had seen through the back door of the house of Mr. Jekyll, and she spoke of him. It was said that he those strange things were happening and he had a brilliant mind, and words for the drug was not enough, and hating things also not. Dr. Utterson on his mind was the name of Mr. Hyde. Asked Lanyon, but did not know the name. Jekyll was radiant and calm. Paul and Utterson and was so happy to see happy his friend and started talking. I told Jekyll he was concerned about the Hyde man who had heard things about him as he had Hyde. I checked the family after the child kicked. He is a kid old friend. Carew, after leaving the theatre, was lost and married down a dark street in London, which is Hyde, and had a hire and asked where he could get a taxi, and he answered, Hyde, root and row, and hit him. This news came out in the Carew. Hyde and Utterson went to the scene, and all I had was a staff of Jekyll, and went to the house of Dr. Jekyll and asked for the can. He told her that he had Hyde Utterson went looking for Hyde, went to residence and found a woman, and said he was very strange, and it was hard to fit, and yet he will fell this number.
Dr. Jekyll was working in his laboratory when they knocked on the door. Mr. Utterson worked in celebration. Dr. Jekyll not heard what he said in the laboratory. He was walking around with his Dr. Lyon lying stealing in his comfortable house, heard a knock at the door. Was the Dr. Jekyll urging their help, and that was the only thing that could help. Dr. Lyon replied that was the favor still loved. To run the case to his laboratory, Dr. Lyon's ray and heat to his lab was granted to Mr. Watting to take a patient hit. The questions Joe doing here and Mr. Heath takes this patient and Mr. Lyon finds to the ground unconscious. Enfield and Utterson talking about the death of Dr. Lyon and that this had left a diary and problems. Won't come afraid read this new paper. The repent comes Paul scared this yet yo Dr. Utterson asked him they are impressioning. Dr. Jekyll and instructions. This Enfield called the police. Desperate in his laboratory in his diary, Dr. Jekyll in March 26 of cannot control him any longer. He comes when he was entered is nothing can do about in some every young will know what can I do? The only way that I can to mislive in my increasing is thanking the medicine blue. Enfield and police found Dr. Jekyll that night. Utterson took the envelope with his name. He thought it might be something that he, like Dr. Jake Liars, you should read first. In the evening, Mr. Utterson was here outside the library window. His house was the only one with a light. Opened the envelope. Inside the envelope was another small envelope. Dr. Jekyll, daily and will, in which he left all his money and everything he owed to Utterson. Utterson was surprised by it. He opened the envelope smaller. It was a letter for him, Mr. Utterson, Dr. Jekyll, close friend. Dear Utterson, the word is actually two people on who does what he thinks he should do and who dreams of doing that he thought he wanted to be a doctor, but else be something else he wanted. I tried to be these two people and was the biggest mistake I ever made. Months ago, I experimented with a drone tag called Shank the way I behave, and I worked with my shared and my edges were different after a while. I could not control how the other person acted. I reset a small apartment in the so was other drug has stopped working. At first this was I could do water. I went to the terribly this began happen. This other person he kicked and hit a girl in the street. This was a mistake to think that I was this other man. I tried to stop the modest. I could not. I think I could control its defects. I could never control. I stupid. Think it the truth is wish. To another person this should. An amazing I had taught medicine to Shank I my life and Dr. Lyon was a person you can help me poor Dr. Lyon say me Shank from one person to other we were on edges until killed him. The next time you switch on this other man last week Shank back. I cannot because I have nothing more that medicine. I cannot live my life like that man. I was stupid to think do something I win medicine. But knew Joe should scan out that I was me Joe was Mr. Hyde.